given what happened this week in Minneapolis, given that the fact that a white woman was shot, again, given what happened this week in Minneapolis, or given the fact that a white woman was shot, unarmed, and basically out there watching cops, their partner, given the fact that they'll shoot a white person on the spot dead, and the powers that be, including the president, the vice president, Homeland Security Secretary, they all come out even before the body is cold, and they've already considered that person a terrorist. They considered that person a radical. They demonize this person. Given the fact that they would do that, should we now consider arming ourselves? And this is a serious question, because as Emiliano Zapata said, the land belongs to those who work it. As Che Guevara, promoted, it's the people who have a right, to defend themselves. He took it to the death. As any revolutionary would say, we do have a right to self-defense. Well, and that's something we do have a right to. It's not something Zapata or Che developed. It's just something we all have a human right to. Given the fact that these law enforcement, again, given the fact that these law enforcement agents are going out there, a lot of them are not identifying themselves, hiding their face, going door to door. This is not C behavior. This is not C conduct. Given the fact that the president is backing them up, should we now start thinking about arming ourselves in our homes, especially if you're a quote unquote U.S. citizen that's documented or legal? Should we? And my answer is yes. At this point, I'm not telling you to do something I have not done. I would never do that. I would never tell people to do something I have never done. But I armed myself a long time ago. We have a Second Amendment right here in the United States under the U.S. Constitution to own or possess firearms or arms, right to bear arms. And with that goes the responsibility, though, that we will act to defend our home. It's called the castle doctrine. We will act to defend our families. If we fear that we have a reasonable fear of deadly or injury or bodily harm, and that is a basic right we all have under the Constitution. Who, by the way, the cops use as well, because their number one reason for saying that they shot was that they feared for their safety, just like police officers have done and did this week, or law enforcement did, ICE. So, should we start preparing this way? Again, my opinion is yes. Malcolm X once said about the government, and I'll try to quote him as best possible. But he said when the government itself is either unwilling or unable, and in this case, well, I'll just stick to this. Malcolm X said that if the United States is unwilling or unable to defend its citizens against dangers, against threats, then it's up to us as people to rise up, arm ourselves, and rise up against those who would threaten to attack us. Basically, he's saying, white people at the time, 1960s, they were killing people, lynching black people. Malcolm X was talking about, black community arming themselves and defending themselves. He was right on. He was 100% correct. And according to the U.S. Constitution, we all have a Second Amendment right to arm ourselves, to prepare, and to be ready to go if somebody should threaten our homes. Watching what happened this week, watching what's happened in Chicago and other places when ICE has gone there, Los Angeles, and everywhere else that they're going to be, looking at how this administration right now, the current government that runs this country under 47, watching how they will dismiss a person, they will demonize a person, they will destroy that person's image before the day is even up, and take the side of law enforcement who shoots and kills somebody. I say yes. I say yes. In Fresno, California, for example, where a lot of us are from, just last year, somebody was caught impersonating ICE, and that wasn't the first time. It has happened, and it continues to happen to this day. So as long as we're not sure who those people are behind those masks, as long as we don't know, or we're not sure what those people would do with that gun and badge, something that neither you or I have a right to, because after all, we're not deputized. Only they have a right to detain us. Only they have a right to book us, and only they have a right to kill us if they want to, according to our laws. As long as they have that kind of right, and yet we don't know who's who, as long as we don't know, and this government again is unwilling to do anything about it, then yes, we do have a right to arm ourselves under the Second Amendment. All Chicanos, all people have a right to arm themselves, because this is a white woman we're talking about now. And I'm not going to get on this trip about, well, they finally did because it's a white woman. That's probably true. That is true. People are up in rage. People were, up all night protesting, and that's okay. People are protesting, taking over the streets because of this, and that's okay. It doesn't matter if she was a white woman. The important thing is, if they do that to a white woman or a white man in America, what do you think they're doing to us and have been doing to us? Think about it. What do you think they're doing to us and have been doing to us all this time? Okay, that being said, think about it. We as raza, we as Chicanos, we as a people with our allies and our black, brown, white, and even white, yes, and Asian brothers and sisters, all of us from the rainbow, we all have a right to arm ourselves against a tyrannical government, which we are watching conduct itself right now. We are watching unleash itself on the population right now. And if you have any doubts as to whether people can defend themselves, yes, we can. And yes, we will. And in the spirit of Emiliano Zapata, I'd rather die fighting on my feet than to die on my knees as a slave. Believe it or not, I don't believe he was the original person that came up with that. But given the fact that he said it, I'm going to quote him again, Emiliano Zapata. So we as a population, we as a people do need to come together, need to unite against this racism, this fascism that's sweeping across the country and now the world. Having watched white people die now in the middle of the street, and and it being justified by the United States, the president of the United States, the vice president, etc., then we have every right to resist and every right to arm ourselves. Again, as a brown beret and a founding member of La Mesa Nacional de Brown Berets, um, I call on all brown berets, whether you're part of La Mesa or not, to join us to inform our people what we got to do, which is learn the issues, unite, organize, obviously. And yes, if we need to, start arming ourselves. If you haven't done that yet, and by the way, this is not new. Arming ourselves is not new. This is not new. It's not like it's never been done before. Yes, it has been done before. And with that said, I want everybody out there to be peaceful. Definitely be peaceful, because we are a peaceful people. Definitely, we're peaceful people. But when you start attacking our homes, invading our homes, and killing us, uh, you push people to a limit to where they have to defend themselves. So again, I'm out. Just wanted to recap that issue on whether Chicanos should arm themselves against ICE, and the answer is yes.